Hi, it's Stuart Sutton at Acre Plus Homes. Hope you're having a great day. The statistics for the first 9 months, I'm going to do year to date, not just the month of September or October. I'm going to do the first 9 months to show you year to date and how 23 compared to 22. And yes, very different as you can imagine, but there's some information here that you are probably going to find jaw-droppingly surprising. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's start with the easiest one, the sheer number of home sales for homes on an acre or more. It was down 13.2%. Now that may sound negative because it is in double digits, but there were times earlier this year when that was dramatically higher. Higher by meaning a higher negative number, if that makes sense. So the 13.2% for the first 9 months is actually surprisingly good. And while those homes were on the market, took a little longer than it did a year ago. That's no surprise, of course, because even though 22 was divided into two markets, a highly active frenzied market and a more normal one, it still had a very good statistic for days in the market. It takes about 75 days now to sell a home on an acre or more, and that is actually still better than the run of 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. That was taking around 90 to 100 days. So 75 days is still pretty darn good, even though the negative number shows to be quite dramatic compared to a year ago. The 75 days, pretty darn good. Now here's where I get to the shocking stats. Homes on an acre or more, through the first 9 months of the year when they were put on the market, they were listed 11% higher than they were a year ago during that crazy run-up of prices. 11% higher than a year ago. That's one of the reasons you're seeing more homes come off the market and not sell, because those prices are just too high in many cases. And here's a statistic, here's a statistic you're not going to see very often. The final list price was about 7.8% higher than a year. Now, what does that mean? Well, when we put a home on the market, if there are no price reductions, then the final list price will be the same. So remember, the original list price was 11% higher than a year ago. But many of those homes lowered their price. So when they went under contract, they were about 7.8% higher than a year ago. So what does that mean? Well, you can see that's about 3.2% price reduction as an average across the board. So home goes on the market, price is reduced, then it goes under contract. And here you go, here's the list to sell ratio. So home goes in the market about 11% higher than a year ago on the average. Final listing price after price reductions is about 7.8% higher than a year ago. And the contract price, the sale price, is about 4.69% below a year ago. So homes are listing higher, but they're selling farther away from asking price. The list to sell ratio is about 96%. In a normal market, it's closer to 97%. So we're not dramatically lower than a normal market. But I think a part of this is that those prices are still being listed so high, buyers are negotiating more than they typically would. Therefore, that list to sell ratio is down more than it would be in a normal market. I think that'll kind of work itself out, and we'll see that 97 to 97.5% ratio come back into line pretty soon. And here is a great and shocking statistic. Everyone thinks home prices are dropping, home prices are dropping, home prices are dropping. In some areas of the market they are. In the 1 acre plus market, homes through the first 9 months, not just September, or not just any given month, through the first 9 months, homes closed nearly 3% higher than a year ago. Now, what was a year ago? A crazy hot market, and we have maintained values to a great degree. Now, let's go back to, wait a minute, homes are being put on the market 11% higher than a year ago. Well, that's because people are still not really past the fact that we're not in that pie in the sky market. 11% is large. That's a big number. 11% higher than a year ago means if the house was worth about $1 million a year ago, it's going on the market at $1.1 million now, and that's a lot. So that's why those price drops are in place that we're seeing. And once those price drops come into play, then we're seeing homes go under contract, but they're negotiated farther away from asking. Hope you're seeing this trend here. But when it comes right down to it, they're still closing higher than they were a year ago. So you're not losing that equity that you got in that big run up. Now, some subdivision homes certainly are, and they're having a real challenge in some areas and in some price ranges. But in the 1 acre plus market, if the home is priced properly, we're seeing it close and sell in a very reasonable time. Now, just to give you an idea, about half the homes on an acre or more sold under $870, and about half sold over $870. So that's where your median price is right now. And this is actually kind of a good statistic if you're a homeowner looking to sell your home on an acre or more in the next year or so. New homes only made up about 17% of your competition. That was higher for a period of time, but seems to have settled in. And that's just simply because there aren't quite as many lots available as there have been in the past. So you don't have as stiff a competition from new homes, for example, as a homeowner does who owns a home in a subdivision. And we have steadily climbed up to about a 5.2 month inventory. Now, the Texas A&M Real Estate Center says 6 to 6.5 months is normal. So even though it feels like things aren't going very well, believe it or not, we're still doing better than a normal market. We have a little bit less inventory than a normal market. We're still getting appreciation, and it's not taking as long as a normal market to sell a home on an acre or more. So it's taken a little less time than it did. Let's just pick out a number, 2019. There's a little bit less inventory. You've got a few less new homes to compete with. So there's some really good signs in the 1 acre plus market. I added another video that might be helpful to you. This one covers buyers and our love it or leave it guarantee. Let me know if I can help in any way. Make it a powerful day.